Hello and welcome to another update video on Bitcoin. So I think this day is all about understanding what damage was done in crypto. I'm going to go through as many charts as I can today and over the weekend. Tomorrow in our member live session, I'm sure we're going to talk about that in depth. Every Sunday we do it at 5 p.m. UTC. It is what it is in the crypto sector. Bitcoin is the only one, and Ethereum, maybe Solana, that really held, I would say, okay in this crash. Maybe there'll be others, but I'll obviously have to go through. So far, Bitcoin hasn't really moved since the last update. I just want to point out a few things. This move down is certainly not enough to confirm a bear market. I know we'll see it everywhere. I saw it yesterday everywhere on X. People said the bear market is there. And for many altcoins, that might be true. Honestly, in these member live sessions, I go through so many coins every single Sunday. And I always tell people that, this is all corrective, not a high quality chart, all corrective, not a high quality chart. Again, and then from the entire mess of thousands of coins, I try to identify the ones that I think have a chance, which I present here on the channel. Okay, some more in the membership, but the vast majority of altcoins, I believe, never left the bear market. You know that, okay? Most of them haven't given us any solid setups or movements. They were really just a handful, or let's say maybe 10 sort of setups that I was willing to show here on YouTube in the last few months. So many of them are really just a mess. Bitcoin is, as you know, probably late in the cycle. That's the perspective. But the move down that we saw is simply not strong enough to really confirm that a major top is in. Of course, it could be the case. We have to talk about that unpopular unpopular possibility. But please note that we are still holding all the levels. On the MCO Global chart where I covered it, I will try to make a video today. I really had very limited time over the last few days, but I will try to make another video on the MCO Global channel where I cover cycle lengths and I cover the moving averages and basically give you kind of a macro view of Bitcoin dominance as well, which is playing out at the moment. And my view has been for many weeks, and I would say months. I can't remember when we talked about it first. I think in early in August or so, or mid-August, because when the price broke above the 21-week EMA, and then it moved up and found support here in June, it became an interesting moving average to watch also in August. And now again, we're touching again above. We haven't broken below it. So from a trend point, from an Elliott Wave point of view, the 55-week EMA, which I said is the substantial one. The 21-week EMA is the more fragile one because it is kind of just for the short-term trend. It will break more easily, But a break below the 21-week EMA for me, and it hasn't broken, no weekly close below. But with the 21-week EMA, it's obviously just a short-term trend. The 55-week is more substantial. We have not broken below any of them, So that is why there is currently nothing really objectively telling me a major top has formed. And if we then take a look at the Bitcoin dominance chart, I know it was unpopular for me to say that we might see a low in September and we are bullish on Bitcoin dominance in October. And I know the reasons why this now happened annoy everybody. And I know it's not great, but it did what it needed to do. It did what it normally does in October. Remember, I spent a lot of time here on this channel, but also on the MCO Global channel to talk about Bitcoin dominance. We can just take a look at the heat map and the performance of Bitcoin dominance. This is Bitcoin. Let's open Bitcoin. Hold on. Bitcoin dominance. So it gives us that performance, of the current month. And we were already on a good way. But typically, I just want to say, look at Bitcoin dominance. Normally, it's very, very bullish in October. It's just a green month. Historically, 4.5%. yeah, in October. And, hold on, it obviously started already in September. Yeah, it already started in September. And that was the idea, that we form a low in September, because if October is bullish, normally we would see a low in September. And also the Elliott waves suggested that. We reached here with the blue line an important Fibonacci support, and the move up happened. Okay, and this sharp decline that we obviously saw from yesterday's high, I mean, it could be the B wave has topped. It's just too early to say, right? The market is still very much in movement. It's still very unstable. So we'll see if we get some further downside pressure. It would not be surprising. Bitcoin market cap, Bitcoin dominance is not something that I'm analyzing it from an Elliott wave point of view, but we should not analyze it really trying to give us micro counts and everything. I did that, and it kind of played out nicely. However, it still is more to communicate what my view is, because a lot of you understand the Elliott wave language. Don't think it's too predictive. What we used for predicting Bitcoin dominance is mainly seasonalities and the macro count here, which suggested the B wave bounce. So it's absolutely possible we get a C wave down, but I need a 1-2 setup. So ideally, an impulse down and a corrective rally that forms a higher low. A lower high, and then break down below this blue line at 57%. Now let's also take a look at Bitcoin. And again, it doesn't make sense so much to focus on the micro counts and on this weekend. That's true for the entire sector. I'm not going to put any 1 hour chart counts on unless I really am asked for by members, or unless it really makes sense on Discord, but we stay on the larger time frames. But if you want to find out about the micro counts, feel free to check out our gold membership. I might share some, but I'll be much more selective. Okay, so we need to go to Bitcoin. Bitcoin on the daily chart suggests that we might form a low in this region in a wave 4. I mean, what we see here on the chart is, in the white scenario, still unchanged, a potential for another high. When we talk about an ABC structure like that, an overshooting B wave could even be considered bullish. And the C wave to the downside has reached the 123.6 extension. So still very common targets for wave C of 4. This could also be wave C of A, so a larger correction, if the next bounce. But we have to see. I mean, I have no idea how the next structure will look like. We have to wait for the structure to give us some clues. But I think this has absolutely the potential to be a low. One more low cannot be ruled out, possibly even a test of the 55-week EMA, because the first one is kind of here. Yeah, it's around 111. I haven't put that in. And the next one is just the 55-week EMA, is around 98K. Yeah, so we could absolutely get one more low tested and then rally. So please be aware this is a possibility, but it will be. We need some time. We need to see how the structure develops. If it's something like that, which is a 3-wave move, yeah, we keep the door open for a B wave. If it can hold a higher low, then again we can watch for even higher. But until then, I think we're going to use this area to watch for a low, and then see how the next structure develops. Again, we're still holding above those moving averages, which means the trend is overall still up. Yeah. And only, let's say, over the course of the coming weeks, I think we will be able to distinguish between the B wave potential, which could lead to an even larger correction, or the 5th wave to the upside. But yeah, remember, it doesn't make much sense to try to focus on the nanostructures here at the moment until we get a clearer picture of what's actually going on. And after a crash like that, that might take some few days for the market to tidy everything up. Yeah, that's the update on Bitcoin. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you're interested in additional updates, then check out our membership options. Also, make sure you follow us on X for additional updates. Thanks so much. Bye-bye. Thanks so much for watching the videos on this YouTube channel. If you've been thinking about joining MCO as a member, now might be a great time. You can use the link in the video description and apply the discount code right below it. You will get 50% off your first month of our gold membership, and you can explore everything we offer. It's the easiest way to test the membership, see if it's a good fit for you, and get a feel for the community, join the conversation, and I'm looking forward to meeting you in our member area.